Alrighty, welcome everybody to our secondary channel. And today, guys, if you guys have seen the title of it, basically we're going to be taking a look at two figures that one I've been very anxious to see, or well, to have in hand and to finally do. And the other one I had a knockoff of, but we'll get to him in a minute. I think the premier one we have to start off with is the Covert Agent Ravage from Beast Wars, which is packaged along with his individual self as his, okay, I've never had a G1 Ravage, which this is kind of interesting, which I don't know if you can see on the inside packaging, which is meant to resemble the cockpit of the ship that Beast Wars Ravage showed up in, but it's actually got a little deal that supposedly the slot looks like it's supposed to fit into, although when you see it in hand, it is definitely not going to fit in there because it is not the same size. But, you know, this package is all for show anyway. Which, for those of you that do not know, when Beast Wars Ravage showed up, he did flip and turn into his original cassette mode so that he could interface with his Predacon stealth ship and attack the Maximals, which, you know, that's just beautiful how they tied G1 and Beast Wars together, and it was really kind of organically done. Which, I mean, you know, that artwork is again repeated on the side over here, which one of the most fun things is the bio over here, which I'm going to read to you, which says, after the Great War, Ravage was one of the Decepticons granted amnesty and reformatted into a Predacon. As a covert agent Ravage, he is secretly dispatched to Earth by the Tripartite Council during the Beast Wars. He is tasked with terminating the rogue Predacon called Megatron with extreme prejudice. But after the Golden Disc reveals a secret message from his long-dead Decepticon leader, he realizes where his allegiances lie. Decepticons forever. So it is rather beautiful. So today I came a little bit prepared. But before we get into the majesty that is Ravage, which, believe me, I want to get into it right away, but I gotta save a little bit of the stuff for the actual review on the main channel. So you may remember I said I had a knockoff of one of these guys. Well, it was a knockoff of this boy right here, which, you know, after we've been going through the Kingdom stuff, looking back at these boys, before I had an inkling of what the masterpieces or, you know, the Kingdom figures were like, these were actually pretty good. And now it's, as much as I love them, they just come off like a sad sack of puke. And, you know, I hate saying that because I love this show and, you know, to an extent. But yeah, I mean, you got to love the Beast Wars packaging. Now, this is not true to form for any of you that know and maybe even had original packaging. They've had to do like they did in Canada and other places where they had to cram multiple versions of it in different languages, and that, and I mean, almost everything on this back art that was originally good now suffers because of that. You know, like the bios got seriously neutered, and that's kind of sad because the bios on the Beast Wars figures, some of them were actually pretty good as they got along. The first, like, you know, Optimus and Megatron, it's not quite what the show was set in because they made those before the show cemented the idea of what Beast Wars was and when it took place, all that crap. So anyway, with Rattrap, it just says his function as a spy, scourging. Well, here's another one. Scurrying city streets for Predacon enemies. Rattrap maintains his strength by feeding on grunge and grime and any wretched refuse he may encounter along the way. So there's your proof right there. Rattrap was no different than, you know, probably several of the original Beast Wars characters. So anyway, I really want to take the time, so I probably won't open this guy. And besides, I don't know how many people watching this, especially after the stream is off, will really care about this figure. I don't know if we'll do a review of him because, like I said, compared to his Kingdom version, the only thing he's got on him is size. But otherwise, he's not fantastic. So anyway, let's just get on with Ravage, and somewhere down the line, you know, you may see him in a video, but not guaranteeing anything. All right. So this is actually a pretty big moment for me personally, because like I said, whenever I wasn't thinking about other more important things in life, or focusing on what really matters, when my brain would drift to Transformers and which ones I wanted to collect, uh, this guy was there. So, and some of those deals, you can just smell the plastic, like it has like a strong smell for some reason. I don't know why. I always like whenever I was a kid and I was opening up the boxes, you could just like smell it for some reason. I don't know whether it was the type of plastic they were using, but anyway, weird sidebar. So, I don't know if you can see now a little bit clearer the cockpit area, which is kind of cool. But that is beside the point, because this guy, I mean, look at his full glory. The pieces that are for his G1 self and the pieces that are for him as he is. Man, this is, I mean, double down, because like I said, I'd never had the Generation 1 Ravage. So this is a new experience in that arena. Like I had Laserbeak and the original Soundwave, but I mean, man, which is weird for a guy that was born in '87. So, or not really. We all get, anyway, beside the point. Oh man, I love the diecast feeling in this. This is awesome. And can we just all agree that I think the Siege Ravage suffers a little bit because it just looks too frumpy. Like the Siege, like you could figure, okay, it's armored up, but it still looks kind of bad. And then they just repackaged it for Earthrise, and they're like, yes, this is him still. And I'm like, no, this is him. Just because you slap a Japan on the side of the same figure does not make it. Anyway, ranting here. Sorry, guys. It's late. You know how we get on these live streams when this happens. We're about 7 minutes in and still unboxing something. Which, here are his glorious. There we go. And I did not realize that Ravage had such blingy missiles that would attach to him in beast mode. That is something that, like I said, I am not accustomed to. But I think my primary thing was the main attraction of this set. So let's get him free with his stuff here, which that might be a little bit tricky. So love X-Acto knives. They have so many features and functions. So, sorry, this is boring while I'm getting them out of the plastic. I know, guys. All right. They did not want you escaping, did they? Ooh. Now that's going to be interesting to learn how to transform, because even though he's a lot like Shadow Panther and Cheetor, there is just the slightest bits that are different. So that'll be fun. We'll do the actual transformation on the, well, we won't show it on the review and stuff, but we'll figure it out. This is just kind of unboxing, just not a very long live stream, just to show you guys kind of what I'm seeing. And man, that is looking pretty sick. Now, he does have some, like, with Cheetor and stuff, it makes sense because that's how the animation model was. And you got to do something in reality with, physical transformer, which he didn't have these in a CG model, but he did have the tail, which instead of a removable piece, it looks, I could be wrong. No, it's actually permanently affixed to his actual robot mode, which if you can see that stuff, because on Cheetor you could just pop it off and there you have it. But for him, it's actually part of his render on the show. He actually had his tail, which is kind of funny. So, man, that is just that looks cool. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was worried that he was gonna sell out, and I see he's like still available on Hasbro Pulse, which good sign. But anyway. All right. Part of his charm is, putting his guns in it. Oh, that looks awesome. Oh boy, Boy, do your head put. Oh, yes. Yes, sir. That is going to be good. Of course, he has to have mouth articulation. And the teeth are painted. Oh, my gosh. And the tongue. Oh, yes. This. Oh, this is becoming more and more worth it. Oh, my gosh. And like Ravage is like not even one of like my top favorite characters. Like this iteration of him, he's in there because of course, Beast Wars is so ingrained in my head. But like, oh my gosh, yes, thank you. This is awesome. Now I might break that rule because how hard could it be to transform his G1 self? He just there will be people that have had this toy for ages and they're like, you're doing it wrong. And if I am, so what? I'll figure it out later when I'm looking at the instructions. But I didn't think he would be difficult at all, and I think that's right. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it. I mean, obviously he's a tape, so he's not going to be super thick. But again, never having seen one in real life, he's a lot bigger than I thought he was. And as cool as it would be to use him with like the not C, the Earthrise Soundwave, obviously he is too big. So he is Sans Soundwave, which, as Beast Wars proved, he apparently can stand on his own. But if we armored his future self up, we have to go with the appropriate look of his G1 guy and do the same. Which is funny that, like his Japanese release, the original Beast Wars version, you could like put the guns on his hips to where it would, in his beast mode, it would reference this, which not the greatest invention, but it was nice that they at least paid respect to the original design, which I'm kind of anxious to see how he does, to be honest, because I've seen pictures and it looks like this head is his beast mode head, which for the original one, it was like somewhere in between this and what you thought this would look like in the original animation. It was like somewhere in between, which worked for both robot and beast mode. But now I'm not sure it's going to be as strong for this guy, but what am I wanting? Perfection. This is not a masterpiece. This is somewhat better because it's awesome and not as expensive. So anyway, guys, sorry, I'm rambling a little bit. Otherwise, so I'm going to enjoy taking a look at these guys a little bit more once the live stream ends and just kind of getting to mess with them and taking the time to learn the transformation, especially for this guy. Because like I said, will be interesting to see how he differs from Cheetor and Shadow Panther. But love it when they're rocking a Predacon tat on their upper arm. So anyway, guys, with that being said, this was just a little bit of an unboxing preview. I'm going to spend some time working on the review for these guys. Really, I didn't come to this live stream with a plan, so I apologize. It's just a bunch of me rambling, but isn't that what this channel kind of is? It's just me with my thoughts as they come to me. So super excited. Hopefully we'll get this guy in his own review on the main channel. Hopefully soon. No promises. But until then, guys, I guess nothing else to say. So until next time, maximize.